What's going on? Welcome back to Normal Baseball. I'm Alex. That's Lewis, and that's Normal Dog back there. Today we're gonna be doing something a
Woo!
little bit, a little bit different. We're gonna be reacting to this video, called "Why Baseball Will Be Canceled in 2022." The video is by Baseball Doesn't Exist, so if you want to watch the video with no interruptions, no us there, it's gonna be down below. But yeah, figure we'd do it a little bit different of a video. Isn't too much to talk about. Couple things, but we can go over that next episode. But yeah, just for now, we're gonna react to this. Why baseball will be canceled in 2022. Let's get into it. You ready?
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Players and owners are currently in a labor dispute, and it's getting ugly. All pictures, videos, and articles that feature current Major League players have been deleted from MLB.com. Steroid testing has been completely halted. One team told their players not to make plans to go to spring training yet, and one player whose brother is a minor league manager says that he had to ignore him
Love the
during
A-Rod
Christmas
clip.
dinner because the two of them
Always.
talking is now illegal. Baseball may not be
That's
played
BS.
anytime
They should be able to
soon,
talk,
but when
as long
it
as it's
is,
not about
there will
baseball.
be a whole new playoff
Yeah, I know,
structure,
right?
a designated hitter in the National League, and a pitch clock, if they can agree. Unfortunately, right now, players and owners absolutely hate each other. A player has even accused the league of quietly making new baseballs that don't go as far.
Yeah, but they don't
solely so they
like
can
each
pay
other because
players
of the.
less money. Dozens of
It's because of the economical stuff. It's not really the. They've
Yeah,
agreed
it's not a
on
matter of
universal
if they want to
DH
play
and stuff.
baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just everybody wants money. Lots and lots of money.
Yeah. So I don't know, but whatever. We'll just continue on.
players have publicly smeared Rob Manfred, who at the moment may be the most hated man in baseball. The
Sounds
owners
about
have
right.
said the players are making
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
They will change the sport forever. And a report even claims a journalist has lost his job just for being critical of Commissioner Rob Manfred. The last time a labor dispute like this happened, a World Series was canceled. Major leaguers got jobs in grocery stores, were replaced by players who used to work in grocery stores, and steroids entered the game at a record pace. And in 2022, MLB could be heading to this same exact scenario.
They're showing every clip but baseball, every sport but baseball.
The reason
That's
MLB
fair.
is currently shut down is
A lockout doesn't
centered
let
around
them.
an argument between these two men. This is Tony Clark. He is the head of the Players Association. And this is Rob Manfred. He is the commissioner. And right now, he has a ton of haters.
He's just an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. I don't
We
know
are
that
two
guy
of those
was-
haters.
Yeah, I think most
Fairly or unfairly,
Most baseball
Rob Manfred
fans
gets
are
criticized
those
every
haters.
time he speaks, like in 2019 when he appeared to be drunk at a Pirates game.
I think more gets made out of the momentum for change than there is in reality.
Yeah, sounds about right.
2020 when he appeared to be
I've never
drunk
seen
at the
that clip
World Series.
before. That's hilarious.
I don't think I have either, but that's insane. This I've seen so awkward.
Yeah.
Rob Manfred
That might be the loudest the
He was just
Globe Life Park will sound like for a long time.
I don't know.
But many
Sign me in.
fans like to ignore that, and that's the point. Manfred has a tough job. As commissioner, he is employed by the owners. So when owners are fighting the players in a labor dispute, like right now,
This clip
he
is
has
played
to
about
take
4
the
different
owner's
times.
side, and players don't like
I mean,
that.
it's pretty
So the
accurate,
commissioner
so.
thought he could solve
Oh, there he is.
Power outage.
But Bauer is far from the only player to bash Rob Manfred, like in 2020 when Manfred famously said, unequivocally, there will be a baseball season in 2020.
Look at that gap. Oh,
God.
they can't see it, but he's got a big gap. His teeth.
20. A week later, he said, quote, I'm not confident there will be a baseball season in 2020. The Players Association
remember that, but there
responded by
was, so
saying
it's
that
fine.
They were disgusted with the commissioner. Then dozens of players
Something's better than
immediately
nothing.
attacked him on Twitter, pointing out that there was a petition for him to resign, and the negotiations were, quote, slimy, tone deaf, greedy, lying, leaking, and out of touch. What you may not realize is that these tweets were like
You know, that sounds
planned,
exactly
meaning that players
like
got
how
together
Rob
and
Manfred
said,
would
"Now's a
handle it."
good time
Yeah.
to roast Rob Manfred on Twitter to help us in
I love this,
negotiations."
the original
And the
video.
league and owners use the media to do the same thing. If you go to MLB.com right now, there is an entire page filled with articles written by a journalist employed by MLB, which will lead you to think MLB players have the strongest union in the world, have more benefits than any other athletes, and are making more money now than ever. This isn't true. Players have also made some pretty intense accusations, including one made against the league and owners in 2021
That's with
that,
the
if
sun hat on
proven,
is
would undoubtedly
on
cause the
site.
league to go through another massive scandal. But before that, thanks to Zynga for sponsoring today's video. Do you?
I'll be honest, no.
Because you are truly. To get you
They're not
started.
paying
It's
us.
available-
No.
It really
Here,
helps.
oh my
Below,
God, how long
and
is this
this past
advertisement?
season, Pete Alonso
There we
learned
go.
that MLB
We are not
implemented
sponsored
new,
by them.
More aerodynamic baseballs that traveled further in 2019 solely because there were a ton of big name
Which is
pitchers
true.
set to become free agents
Yeah.
that offseason.
Fully true.
These new balls would theoretically make pitcher stats worse, so owners wouldn't have to pay them as much. And in 2021, they made the balls less
That did not work too
aerodynamic
well.
to make hitters' stats worse because a ton of big name shortstops.
I mean, it worked in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Then they got called out on it, and it didn't work anymore. It got a little more normal towards the end of the season.
Were gonna become free agents. Now, it is
Sadly,
true the
we have
balls
to anticipate normalcy.
Yeah.
2019 traveled further than the balls in 21, but claiming the league did this on purpose just to reduce salary at the moment seems very far-fetched. Who knows if Alonso said this thinking it could help in a labor dispute, but both players and owners know having the media on their side is a huge advantage. A report from the New York Post says that MLB Network didn't renew Ken Rosenthal's contract solely because he was
Oh, look
critical
at that
of
bow
Rob
tie.
Manfred.
That is the most stupid thing. That's like
Oh,
a
this is-
dictatorship. I get that it's his job, and like, I guess you're not supposed to. But come on. It's MLB Network. What are they supposed to do? Not talk about like their actual thoughts?
Well,
It's all
yeah.
just fake at that point. And well, I guess we know it's all fake because it is. None of what they're saying is their actual beliefs. But
Sadly, and this is just proving that point.
yeah,
You know, if they're not going to let Ken Rosenthal, arguably,
that bow
what some
tie.
people will say,
That bow
is
tie.
the greatest bow tie selector
got powers.
of all time.
It's got powers. It does.
Yeah, it's just, it's a shame that Manfred kicks him out of MLB Network for stating an opinion.
In an article
Sucks.
written in
Stupid.
2020. Pitcher Tyler Matzik
Love that
responded
bow
by
tie.
saying Ken Rosenthal is
Yeah.
only 5'4.5" but still, quote, towers over Rob Manfred, who is #soft. MLB and Manfred allegedly.
I mean,
getting rid of a
Rosenthal knows more about the
journalist
game than
for
Manfred.
criticizing him is pretty insane, and who knows if it's completely true. However, Dan
I'd
Levitard
love
came
to
out
know if Rob
afterwards
Manfred
saying that
actually
Manfred also
frequents
tried to
social
get
media
him
enough
fired
to
in
see how much hate he
2017
gets.
after doing what he says was
I doubt it. No way he looks at social media that much.
Yeah, I know, but I wish
Doesn't
he,
he?
I wish he did.
Yeah, he doesn't
Oh,
care.
I wish he had an advisor that would just show him all the things that people say about him. Maybe it would wake him up a little bit.
Nah, he doesn't give a shit.
interview done
Sadly.
by a commissioner in history.
We're starting with a lie, Rob. That's where we're starting. I think you cared more about that $1.2 billion asking price than you did about the fans of South Florida.
You actually have no idea what I care about and don't care about. You want to ask me questions? I'll answer them the way.
I've actually never seen this.
Yeah, what is this?
Well, it's
It's Manfred
Dan
being
Levitard
interviewed.
show. Yeah, it's the Dan Levitard show. He's getting mad. Love that. I like this guy now.
Yeah, me too. I endorse
I
him.
want to answer.
The tensions between players and the commissioner and owners hasn't been this bad since
Oh, that's my favorite
1994,
video.
which resulted in one of the biggest disasters in MLB history. And today, the two sides are arguing over the exact same thing. The CBA, which is essentially an agreement that determines the rules and finances of baseball. This agreement expires around every 5 years, and in recent history, this wasn't a big deal because the two sides agreed to a new CBA before the old one expires. But when they can't, three things can happen. The owners can do what they're doing now. They can lock out the players, refusing to let them play or get paid until they agree to a new CBA. Owners can also agree to temporarily use the old CBA and games go on as normal. Or owners agree to temporarily use the old CBA and players go on strike, refusing to play until a new agreement is reached. In 1994, players and owners couldn't.
See, now, that's what I've been trying to say. This doesn't have to be happening, but it's happening. Whatever. It's so dumb.
It's such a shame.
It's so dumb.
agree on a
Like we
CBA, so
say to each other, it's millionaires against billionaires. Like, come on,
Yeah, and
play the game.
And then the normal people are the ones losing the most.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate.
it's such a shame.
Anyway,
players went on strike in the middle
Nothing
of
we
the
didn't already
season.
know.
The strike lasted so long, Bill Clinton threatened to take the case to Congress. The rest of the season was canceled, and even established players were running out of money. Mike Gallego had to get a job working at Kmart, and even Chipper Jones got a job on Atlanta Talk Radio.
I would put it up under my cup, right up under the cup. Who's gonna go check your ball sack?
Owners attempted to break the union
Oh.
by having a season with replacement players, which was a complete disaster and consisted of complete nobodies like Joe Cipollone, who worked in a pizzeria and hadn't played baseball in 7 years, or washed-up major leaguers like Pedro Bordone, who was 48 years old at the time, and a few current minor leaguers who played and were ostracized by teammates for the rest of their careers for doing it. Manager Davey Johnson called replacement players a, quote, travesty. Manager Sparky Anderson refused to manage them altogether, and Major Leaguer Bobby Bonilla said that any player who crossed the
yeah, Bobby.
Bobby, woo! Collect that check, baby.
Can't wait for July 1st. Anyway,
picket line would, quote, end up in the East River. Mike Bush filled in as a replacement player, then made the majors with actual players in 1995. During his debut, his teammates refused to sit with him on the bench and barely interacted with him all year. Kevin Millar was a replacement player who would go on to win the 2004 World Series, but isn't featured on any of the commemorative memorabilia or allowed to be featured in MVP Baseball 2005 because the Players Association refused to license his name. Instead,
that sucks.
EA Sports made him look like
I mean-
this and gave him the fake name Anthony Freeze.
That's
Finally,
hilarious.
After 8 months, a judge
Barry
ordered
Bonds
the
is one of
owners
those.
to play the 1995 season under the old CBA, and on April 26th, the most chaotic opening day in history began.
Oh.
The Pirates tried to lure fans in by giving away free pirate flags, but in the 5th inning, the game was delayed because fans started throwing them onto the field. Tom Glavine got booed in his own stadium. 3 fans ran onto the field and protested on the second base bag in New York, and 1 fan ran into the outfield and threw a dollar bill at Bobby Bonilla's face. In total, over 900 games were canceled. Owners lost over $1 billion. Players lost over $300 million.
Honestly, though, why go to the game? Why would you go to the game at that point?
Yeah, I mean,
Just to protest, I guess, but like,
You're still caving into what the owners want of giving them the money to enter the ballpark.
I'm just glad I wasn't alive during this time. Sounds
Me
like,
too.
like, well, we're going through it right now, but I don't know. Back then, it sounded even worse. I mean, I hope it doesn't go to this.
Security.
but- I hope it doesn't come to this, but whatever. We'll
Agreed.
see.
The working relationship got so bad that Commissioner Bud Selig and the head of the Players Association were caught screaming at each other during the World Series. Attendance dropped 20%, and according to many, only rampant steroid use was able to bring baseball back to its popularity.
Steroids saved baseball.
And there's a real chance that all of this could happen again. The argument that no baseball will be played in 2022 goes as follows. Baseball is in a very similar place now as it was in 1994. Just like now,
These $60 Japanese smart patches are taking the world by storm. Just apply them before bed.
Oh yeah, the CBA and stuff. I
tensions
mean,
were peaking. From 1968 until 1994, every single
Damn, my
time
mic
the
was muted. I was
CBA
trying to yell
expired,
over it.
There was a labor stoppage,
Oh.
and the Players Association dominated these negotiations. As a
Yeah, they're
result,
not letting that
their
happen now.
salaries skyrocketed.
Sadly.
Owners were tired of losing, so when another dispute came
Bobby,
in
there
1994,
he
they
is.
were no longer willing to compromise.
That's Bo.
The same thing is happening now.
No,
but in
when they showed the
opposite
graph, Bobby
direction.
Bonilla was
Since
at the top of it.
1994, there have been
Love
zero
it.
labor stoppages, and players have lost every negotiation. Owners have earned more revenue sharing, a luxury tax, and have increased that tax greatly. As a result, the average player's salary has dropped over 6% since 2017, and the median salary has dropped 30% since 2015.
I
And over
mean-
60% of major leaguers are making less than $1 million a year. At the same time, MLB revenue has tripled since 2001, setting a record every single year until 2020. And once stadiums are back at full capacity for a full season, it will almost certainly go up again. League and owners are making more
I mean,
money,
those ticket
but
prices
most
are
of the
not
players
cheap.
Are not. This
Yeah, those ticket prices are not cheap at all.
especially us being Yankee fans and living in New York. I mean, going to Mets and Yankees games, you know, a water and a hamburger. It's like $24.
Yeah, they got
Half of
money.
that's revenue.
Yeah, they got money.
Just like the owners in 1994, players are tired of losing negotiations, making it less likely they'll compromise even if it means losing games. They're also making several criminal accusations against owners. This also happened leading up to 1994, when players caught Commissioner Peter Uberoff literally secretly conspiring to eliminate free agency, which is insanely
How's that even
illegal.
possible?
It was insanely obvious when the
Imagine.
number one free agent
Team
What
that
would
you
you
get
do?
drafted to?
Eliminate free agent? You're just stuck unless you get
That'd be
traded.
the worst.
in baseball, Kirk Gibson only received one offer, and it was from his previous team, the Detroit Tigers. Turns out the owners made a secret agreement where they would only sign a free agent if the player's former team allowed it. Owners were caught and were forced to pay $434 million for doing this. So the next time the CBA expired in 1994, players were pissed and did not want to compromise with owners. A similar scenario is playing out right now. In 2018, players were seriously considering going on strike after going through the slowest month of January in the history of free agency. Over 100 free agents were unsigned by February, and players felt owners were conspiring to devalue players to save money, and held a conference call where they seriously discussed going on strike. This never happened, but the very next year, they opened up an investigation of the league for collusion.
Yeah, I would have sucked for just a regular season.
Said he connected with 27 teams and have a good idea of what they are going to do in free agents. The next year, things got even worse, causing the Players Association to file a $500 million grievance against MLB. Leading up to the 2020 season, players and
I'd take $500 million.
That said if they play 1/3 of the season, players would earn 1/3 of their original salaries. Both sides agreed. Then Rob Manfred and the owners said, actually, you need to agree to less money, claiming that teams were going to lose billions of dollars. This resulted in a very public dispute that lasted weeks and ended when owners finally agreed to play under the original deal. The Players Association claims the owners did this in bad faith just to stall the start of the season, forcing a shorter schedule, because less games meant they could pay players a smaller percentage of their salary. Players filed a $500 million grievance that is still pending. At the end of the day, the owners got what they wanted.
Yeah, that'll be pending for a long time.
Season, so
that'll be pending till the end of time.
Yeah.
Why can't I hear anything?
You muted it.
Did not mean to do that.
One side is on an extended losing streak, accusing the other of conspiracy, and tensions are peaking, making a compromise extremely hard. However,
I don't like
there
that
is also
game.
an argument that a full season can be
What,
played.
the Pete
And
Alonso
if it
dream?
is, there could be a whole new set of rules. Broadly speaking, this is what
against
the
the
two
Yanks.
sides are asking for. Players want free agency to start earlier in their careers to increase salary. Getting
Makes sense.
Agreed.
rid of the luxury tax, which punishes teams for spending.
Makes sense.
There's a debate for that.
I think it makes sense. Well, there is a debate.
It makes sense,
but if you're really rich enough, if you're a team, you don't really care about going over the luxury tax. But whatever.
Yeah,
There's a debate for that, but nothing.
That's I'm on the fence about. Very on the fence about that.
Yeah.
Money, getting rid of revenue sharing between clubs, and a higher minimum salary. Owners want to replace the arbitration system, lower the luxury tax threshold, which limits spending even more revenue sharing, and extending the time it takes to get to free agency.
Here, so let's go ahead and just rename all these things. Replace arbitration. They want more money. Lower the luxury tax. They want more money. More revenue sharing. They want more money. Later free agency. They want more money. I mean, it's pretty cut perfectly. Of that the owners don't care about anything. They don't. I genuinely, some of them don't even care about baseball. They just want as much money as they can in their pocket.
Oh, for sure. No, like if you look at these things, they're all the exact opposites.
Yeah.
Like not like literally the exact opposites. Earlier free agency, late free agency, higher minimum salary, lower replace arbitration, lower luxury tax, no luxury tax. It's not great.
There's also potential rule changes.
The one thing that you can argue is I get why the players would want, why the owners would want more revenue sharing, but at the end of the day, does it really matter that much that you're going to lock out if you don't get better revenue from another team.
No, not at all.
Universal designated hitter because it creates more jobs for players. Owners, not so much because it means they would have to pay more in salary.
No, that one's going to be fine.
If players are willing to trade it for an increase in luxury tax penalties, this could very likely be a rule in 2022. Owners want an expanded playoff with 14 teams. Some players worry lowering the bar for playoffs will lead to teams spending less. But if owners are willing to trade it for a higher minimum salary for players, this could also very well be a rule in 2022.
That seems like a very fair trade.
Interest in a pitch clock because he wants to shorten the time of games. Many players don't want this. But if they're willing to accept the rule change in exchange for shortening the time it takes for players to get to free agency, a pitch clock could also be implemented. This is the least likely of rule changes, but you get the point. This is just one big trade-off where both sides ask for everything and then compromise on their original proposal. The bad news is, this is already the longest lockout in MLB history. In order for spring training to start on time, a deal is going to have to get done fast, and one team already seems to think this won't happen. Every day that goes by makes missing games seem more and more likely. The lockout prohibits players from interacting with anyone from MLB. They can't use facilities, talk to coaches, or rehab with team trainers. Legally, MLB can't use players' likeness, so there's nothing on the website. And until the lockout ends, it seems like nobody is getting drug tested. The good news is, in the history of MLB labor disputes, a lockout has never resulted in games being missed. If games are missed, both sides will lose money, which is a big incentive to compromise. And it's still the offseason. And honestly, as long as MLB plays 162 games, everybody will forget this ever happened. I don't know when a deal will be made, but before it does, there will be a ton of tension, mean tweets, and each side will leak information to win over the public. But when they finally agree, baseball will be back and everyone will be happy.
All right, so I mean, that's basically it.
I mean, all in all, I agree with everything that's said and stuff.
I enjoyed the video. I liked it. Again, baseball doesn't exist.
Yeah, great video. I mean, all of his content's great.
Yeah. I think we're gonna miss a few games at the very least.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if the season gets pushed back. That will be a first.
Yeah. Well, not first, but.
I definitely think that his idea of, you need to trade things that both sides want is fair. However, I feel like the owners feel like they're on a higher pedestal when they shouldn't be in this situation.
Right.
It should really be about compromise, and I feel like both sides are going to want only what they want and not what the other side wants, which might affect what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll talk about more on the next podcast that comes out. But as far as this video went, I liked it.
Yeah,
it was informative. I think a lot of it was stuff we already knew, just kind of recapping.
It's good that he put out this video for the more casual fan who doesn't understand it, because he really broke it down well.
Because the fear is that if baseball misses games, the casual fans are gonna be a little less attracted to it. So we need content like this from creators, individual creators, just keep people in the loop that aren't maybe diehard baseball fans.
Definitely think that in Cooperstown there should be a shrine for this lockout and explaining all the stupid shit that's been happening.
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
I want it in center field on Doubleday Field.
Oh my god.
Really put it out there.
Well, I think that's it for this video reaction, new type of video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, all that, share, helps out a lot. And new podcast probably maybe Monday. We'll see how things go. But until then, we'll see you later. See ya.
Sounds good.